What is up, comic book junkies? My name is Quintero, and this is going to be a very basic kind of breakdown of Civil War for the people that don't know what's going on. I realize that I have a lot of friends that don't really understand why Captain America and Iron Man are fighting each other, so it's time for me to do my job and kind of make it make a little bit more sense. So here we go.
Difficult, but not impossible.
Okay, so this whole thing starts out when a very, very little superhero, quote unquote, named Speedball, he's kind of the star of this reality show where these low-level vigilantes want to take on villains, right? For that's basically the show. It's just a fight show, and so they kind of find this hideout with a bunch of villains. These guys, I can't emphasize enough how low-level these guys are. The Speedball and his friends are. So they go to take on these villains. Well, it kind of gets out of hand. They underestimate Nitro, who is just a crazy next level villain that you don't want to mess with if you're Speedball and his gang. And basically Nitro does what Nitro does and blows up. Huge explosion, and it kind of encapsulates this elementary school, and a lot of people die, a lot of innocent little kids die. And so it's a tragedy. Naturally, the nation is in an uproar and something's got to change. So the government starts to issue this registration act, and basically that means that every superhero, every vigilante, mutant, whatever, has to register with the government. Their identity, their address, their social, all this stuff has to be on file on a database. In theory, you know, to make heroes agents of the government or registered, or, you know, to have them kind of responsible for what's going on, it makes sense. A lot of the heroes don't believe in this, including Captain America. He kind of breaks off. Tony Stark is for it. Tony feels like they're just like anybody else out there if they're not held accountable for their actions. But a lot of the heroes felt like this put all their loved ones at risk, and so that makes a lot of sense. So that's why all this basic fighting is going on. Some believe that if they're not registered, they're just like terrorists, or, you know, they're looking out for their own good. Other people feel like if they register, they put everything that they love at risk, and they already sacrificed enough. Why should they sacrifice, you know, their secret identities for the safety of their families? Civil War. So Black Panther is pretty cool. He's actually been hinted at in previous Marvel movies. I don't know a whole lot about him, so I did a little bit of research, and Wikipedia says that the Black Panther is actually a rank of office, the chieftain of the Wakandan Panther clan. He has acute senses, strength, speed, ability, stamina, durability, healing, reflexes. He can pick up a prey scent and memorize tens of thousands of individual scents. So this kind of explains why in the scenes of Civil War, what we've seen, the Black Panther is like always the first runner-up chasing Bucky. He's kind of the hunter tracker. He's also a rigorously trained gymnast and acrobat, and a master in martial arts. So definitely sounds like a contender for Winter Soldier and Captain America. I'm excited to see kind of an extended battle. We've been teased a little bit with the three of them fighting, but I'd like to see more of that. I'd like to see kind of that played out and see how it goes. Okay, everybody loves Thor, and you can't really blame him because Hemsworth made him amazing. The thing about Thor during the Civil War is, and if I'm wrong at any point in time, please leave a comment and let me know. I will annotate this. As far as I've dug into it, as far as I've read, as much as I've researched, I don't know what happened to Thor. I would remember him dying. I don't remember him dying. He just kind of seems to have disappeared. And that's a shitty half answer. I'm really sorry. But if anyone knows what exactly happened to Thor, please let me know. I'll annotate this part. So here's why I think that they put so much work into getting Spider-Man kind of shared between Sony and Marvel. He plays a really, really gripping part in Civil War, if not one of the most pivotal roles in the whole series. And it's kind of just because of how he's been set up previously in the Marvel Universe. He's really good friends with Tony Stark. Tony's kind of his mentor. They're both geeks. They're both really tech savvy. And Spider-Man just straight looks up to him, like lovingly, Big Brother style, will follow him into battle. So that's initially why Spider-Man goes with the Registration Act. Even though before he even officially does, he kind of voices his thoughts on, you know, this could really go bad, this could put a lot of pressure on me and my family, but he still does it, and I think that's kind of just a blind loyalty to Tony Stark. So that in itself was really interesting. What happens though is that Spider-Man begins to see how this act is kind of taking effect with these heroes. He sees that supers are being imprisoned without trial or without counsel. He learns that Tony put trackers and fail-safes in his Iron Spider suit, so that kind of sketches him out a little bit. When he finds out all this stuff, he kind of confronts Iron Man. They fight a little bit, and then Spidey breaks off and goes to join the rebellion with Captain America. So to me, that was a big deal. I've loved Spider-Man forever, and just to see him, just to see that complete shift and change was really interesting and made Civil War kind of that much more gripping. So I think they might try to replicate something like that in the film to kind of get you to feel a certain way, but then maybe flip over and kind of look at, kind of introspect a little bit, maybe. I don't know, who knows, but that's kind of why I think that they fought so hard for Spider-Man, was because he played such a just gripping role in Civil War. So spoiler alert here, guys. I'm gonna give you some time to click to the end of the video. If you have any interest in going through Civil War yourself, don't watch this part. You can read it, experience it for yourself. You'll enjoy it a lot more that way. So definitely click to whatever time this says, and it'll go back to being spoiler free. So one just freaking super crazy thing that happens in Civil War is S.H.I.E.L.D. starts what's called Project Lightning, and it's kind of headed up by Dr. Reed, and so it essentially is just a clone of Thor. So while all these supers are fighting each other, and they're fighting these people that they grew to fight alongside, and these people that they learned to care about, and they're essentially brothers in arms, they're not going 120, they're not trying to kill each other because they still care about each other. This Thor clone, however, does not share the same sentiment, and it uses thunder on Goliath. It's super effective. Goliath is dead as shit. Like, lightning just punches a hole straight through him. And that was a really big turning point for Spider-Man as well. He saw that and he was like, what am I signed up for? Why are we doing this? This was supposed to just register. This was supposed to be for the people. We weren't supposed to be freaking using Thunder Punch on people and just wrecking. So that's a big deal. That was a pivotal moment as far as people defecting or just second guessing, why did I support the Registration Act? So that was kind of a big interesting chunk of the story. Another what the fuck moment for Tony Stark is that he starts offering these like murderous villains these like redemption programs. So kind of like a government pardon. So there's, to name a few, there's Venom, Bullseye, and Lady Deathstrike. If you come to work for the people on the Registration Act, your crimes have been like wiped free. That's another part where you should be looking in the mirror like, what am I doing? Why? So the captain knows that he needs Frank Castle's expertise, and Frank Castle straight up just looks up to the captain in the same respect that Peter looked up to Tony Stark. And so anyway, the captain knows that he needs the Punisher on the Rebels' side, but it definitely comes at the cost of the Rebel like moral high ground that they've had up until this point, because the Punisher will just do what the Punisher does and straight slaughter villains, even though these villains are coming to the Rebel side and like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, let's, fight for our freedoms again. There's one point where I don't remember exactly who it was. They walk into the Rebel base to join up with the captain, and Punisher just completely puts holes in them without letting them say anything else. And it's a really powerful scene because the Captain then absolutely beats the shit out of the Punisher, who refuses to fight the Captain back, and Captain is still aware that Frank Castle is an asset, but it kind of serves to blur the lines between the two sides as far as morality goes, where Tony has been just a complete no moral barometer whatsoever, and then the rebels who have had this high ground up until now, where the Captain realizes that, yeah, he killed this dude, but we still need him. So it's like kind of taking it down a peg morality wise. But that was my very basic breakdown of Civil War. I hope I answered some of your questions. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave me a comment below. I'll do the best I can to answer them and research if I don't know the answer. If you want to check out this Civil War series, I definitely recommend doing so. And if you're like me, you're confused about what order to read all this in, the awesome people at Comic Book Herald, they have compiled a reading order list, and I'll put that link in the description below. Definitely check that out. Go over their site. They've got some awesome stuff over there. And let me know what team you're on. Are you on Captain's side? Are you on Tony's side? Me personally, I was on Tony's side for a while because in theory, registering heroes and having them accountable sounds great, but the lengths at which they were willing to go to do so was a little much. So what are you gonna do? So let me know what side you're on. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you did enjoy this. And if you did, give me a like, share with your friends, help my little channel grow. That'd be dope. And let me know what you want me to cover next. I know I kind of dropped the ball with this channel. I just got really busy, and I'm sorry. And if you're going to see Captain America, I don't know why you wouldn't go see Captain America. If you want to know what the comic's like, then go click on this link that I put up in the video somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I did a review on Civil War, Captain America. It's his own section of Civil War. So go check that out, see what I have to say about that. Again, my name is Strickland Sero, guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Have a great weekend. Go read comics. Let me know what you read. Let me know what you want me to review later.